ABC 10's Luke Clary was in the thick of it tonight. He's joining us now live from Quincy. Luke, what's the latest?
Madison, it's here at the evacuation center in Quincy where we spent some time with folks from Greenville and surrounding areas who are really just waiting for word about their homes. Because California law actually allows journalists to go beyond roadblocks during natural disasters, we set out to help two evacuees learn the status of their homes, but the dangerous conditions here stood in our way.
It was the hardest thing I've had to do.
Leaving his home of 47 years, Carl Spang knows the heartbreak of his neighbors in Greenville, but he thinks his house might still be standing a few miles south on US 89 in Crescent Mills.
I feel for the people that have already lost everything, and not to be selfish, but I don't want to join them.
He gave us an address because, like so many others here, he doesn't know if the Dixie fire took his home.
It just blew up, and there was a firestorm out of this world.
Ray Casanova was one of the last to leave Greenville, and he also gave us an address to check on.
If it's standing, I'll be one happy sucker.
But on the road to Greenville, a live fire operation stopped us in our tracks. Firefighters here have initiated what's called a backburn. That is lighting this side of the canyon to burn up all of these fuels and stop or slow the spread.
He just lost his home. He just lost everything.
Back at the shelter, compassion with new capacity restrictions. With the Delta variant on the rise, temperature checks and masks are back.
He said, I need a hug, because COVID restriction says we don't hug, and I said, hey, I'll give you a hug. If I get in trouble, forgive me. I'm sorry. All right. But he needed a hug. All right.
And with this shelter now full, new evacuees have been turned away, set on the road 35 miles to Portola, where there's another shelter. They will be able to find food and water and compassion there as well. But time and again, we hear what people really want is information. And so we will be here all weekend covering the Dixie fire. We'll hope to get answers for Ray and Carl and so many others here. We'll keep you updated.
Oh, Luke, thank you so much for trying to get them some answers. Of course, hopefully we will have an answer for them in the coming days. Luke, thank you. Now let's go live to Greenville. That's where ABC 10's Luke Clary is on the ground checking in on the firefight. And Luke, you've been out on the Dixie fire since yesterday. So what does it look like today?
Madison, it's grim here in Greenville. You just see block after block of leveled homes, burnt out cars, and we are standing right now on the property of Ray Casanova. He's one of two evacuees that we met last night at the Quincy Evacuation Center. He gave us his address. We found it. His home has been leveled. In fact, we tried to get here last night, but the dangerous conditions on US 89 and a live fire operation prevented us from getting here. We're showing you some images now. And another evacuee by the name of Carl Spang, who lives in nearby Crescent Mills, where a major fire operation was happening last night, preventing us from getting here. We finally got to his home. Today, we were able to share with him some good news, a 3-bedroom house still standing, and another mobile home also on his property, also standing. Here is the moment that we shared that news with his family. It appears that the mobile home down below is also here and intact.
Thank you. Neighbors and everything, thank you.
You're welcome, guys.
How much relief that is. Thank you.
Back out here live in Greenville at Ray Casanova's home. Again, based on our conversations with him, he was one of the last to evacuate from Greenville. He saw the flames, so he said he wouldn't be surprised to see this. But what might surprise him, in fact, is that his truck is still here and this wagon full of brush still here. Amazing that this survived last night's blaze. Madison.
Oh, wow, Luke. And you're getting some answers for people tonight, desperately waiting. Luke, how are things looking where you are?
Madison, it's grim here in Greenville. We see block after block of destruction, streets and driveways littered by the shells of what were once people's vehicles. We see homes burned right down to their foundation, trees scorched right down to the trunk, and everywhere you go, this thick, heavy haze, this smoke that's really hard on the lungs. But CAL FIRE says it may be good for the firefight because of these low hanging clouds. They say it reduces fire activity. They may be able to get some aggressive steps in today fighting the Dixie fire, but that of course will be cold comfort to the people that we met last night at the Quincy Evacuation Center waiting for information about their homes. We met a man at Casanova, one west to Leeville, and he described for us a huge firestorm as he left. He gave us his address, and sadly, this is what we found. His home completely leveled. We were able to reach a Red Cross volunteer, though, who told us, thanks to our reporting last night, Ray reconnected with family.
Because he was on TV, that they recognized him and they knew where he was. So you guys did real good work.
That's great to hear. I'm glad that he was able to connect with someone.
Yeah.
We're going to keep working to get in touch with Ray directly. We're staying connected with the Red Cross, but his is one of many stories here in Greenville. CAL FIRE telling us that preliminarily they believe only 25% of homes here were saved. We'll keep you updated. Madison, it's really quiet here tonight in Greenville and pitch black, so dark out here without power, aside from the occasional headlights of a first responder vehicle. In fact, we're using our headlights to light up this street for you, but we promised two evacuees we met in Quincy that we would be here to find their homes and let them know if they're still standing.
The road to Greenville is eerily quiet. It leads to a path of destruction, block after block of leveled homes and crumbling storefronts. The library, you can see straight through, books that fall to ash to the touch.
There is no Greenville now. It went.
We met Ray Casanova at the Quincy Evacuation Center Friday. He saw the flames rip through his town when he escaped, but he asked us to check on his home for him anyway.
It's mobile. I got a chain link fence. Then there should be a white Toyota pickup truck sitting there.
We called the Red Cross with bad news.
Is his house okay?
His house is gone. Yeah.
But we learned that our reporting helped reconnect Ray with his family.
Because he was on TV, that they recognized him and they knew where he was. So you guys did real good work.
Friday night, we watched as firefighters initiated a backburn near the next town of Crescent Mills.
Structure protection efforts in Crescent Mills have been successful. We have hose lays, we've done brush clearing around homes.
And they said, okay, this looks totally defensible. We are not going to leave. We're going to stay here and protect your house.
Carl Spang asked us to check on two homes on his property, a 3-bedroom house at the top of the hill where his son and family live, and Carl's triple wide too.
It appears that the mobile home down below is also here and intact.
Thank you. Neighbors and everything, thank you.
You're welcome,
You
guys.
know how much relief that is. Thank you.
And we will be here continuing to cover the Dixie fire wherever it leads us throughout the weekend. We'll keep you updated. Just look through those trees and into a wall of flame and what appears to be one of the eastern edges of the Dixie fire burning in Lassen County. We see crews here fighting on this side. They're also rushing to put out those ember cast spot fires. The goal here is to stop it from spreading over the county road. Hand crews and heavy machinery putting in a dozer line, hoping to get containment.
Awaiting word from the front lines in the fight against the Dixie fire, a growing community of evacuees arrive in Susanville with nowhere else to turn.
Where would I go? I couldn't go back that way.
Ann O'Malley and her husband Kevin from Westwood evacuated Wednesday.
It's scary when you sit there and see all the smoke coming over the mountain and wonder where's it at, because you can't see it. but you can see the smoke.
Left behind a lot of stuff. Fires ravaged through everything.
Jason Gray Powers and his girls came from devastated Greenville.
Want that?
Volunteers bringing them boxes of clothes and toys.
It actually means the world because it keeps us strong. For them to see them smiling through a time like this when emotions are raw for everybody around us.
And fueling this entire operation,
we have amazing volunteers.
The Salvation Army, Roseville, and Auburn Corps, 50 to 60 volunteers per day, churning out hearty favorites like Sloppy Joes and waffles.
Cinnamon and vanilla. And lots of love.
Keeping everyone fed with 3 meals a day.
Not just fed, but they are fed very well, that they're nice and full.
And here, just a few miles north of Westwood, we see CAL FIRE actively trying to knock down this section of the Dixie Fire. This is about all the buffer that they have from here to that county road. On the other side, they do hope that containment line will hold.